Food web quiz. Match the vocabulary term with its definition. Mark your letter clearly. The word bank for the first box. A, consumer. B, decomposer. C, producer. Number 1, an organism that breaks down waste and dead organisms. Number 2, an organism that obtains energy by feeding on others. And C, an organism that makes its own food. The second box, the word bank. A, carnivore. B, herbivore. C, omnivore. A consumer that eats only plants. 5, a consumer that eats both plants and animals. 6, a consumer that eats only other animals. Read the following scenario and answer the prompts. 4 friends visit an island. The friends talked about what would happen if all the plants disappeared from the island. This is what they said. Harold, I think all the animals on the island would eventually die. Misha, I think eventually all the animals on the island will become meat eaters and they will survive without plants. Number 7, which friend is correct, Harold or Misha? Number 8, using what we learned in class, explain why their explanation is what would happen if all the plants on the island died. On the second page, look at the food web. Circle the correct answer for each prompt. Number 9, which animal in this food web is an herbivore? Your choices are fox, rabbit, sparrow. Number 10, which animal in this food web is a carnivore? Your choices are fox, rabbit, sparrow. Which animal in the food web is an omnivore? And your choices are fox, rabbit, sparrow. Number 12, indicate one complete food chain in this food web with only 3 organisms in it. Be sure the arrows are placed correctly. Use the food chain that you made in number 12 to answer the following questions. Number 13, which organism in this food chain is the producer? Which organism in this food chain is the primary or first level consumer? And which organism is the secondary, second level consumer? On the next page, number 16, take the food chain that you made in question number 25 and draw an energy pyramid. No, it should be, sorry about that, in question 12. And draw an energy pyramid. Be sure that the organisms are in the correct spaces. Circle the correct answer. Number 17. Where is the most energy in this pyramid? The top, the middle, or the bottom? Circle your choice. Using the food web on the previous page, circle the correct answer to each prompt. 18. When is the duck a primary first level consumer? A, it is a primary consumer when it eats the insects. Or B, it is a primary consumer when it eats the aquatic plants. 19. When is the sparrow a secondary or a second level consumer? A, it is a secondary consumer when it eats the insects. B, it is a secondary consumer when it eats the land plants. On the back, the last page. Read the following scenario. Use the information from the scenario, the food chain, and your learning to answer the prompt. While eating a tuna sandwich at lunch, Anita and her friends wondered how tuna gets nutrients and energy. In science class, they Googled it and found the food chain. You have part of the tuna's food web: algae, the producer, shrimp, mackerel, and tuna fish. Use Anita and her friends' food chain to explain how tuna obtains their nutrients and energy. Fill in the blanks with the correct organism from the food chain. Number 20. The tuna gets its nutrients and energy from eating the mackerel gets its nutrients and energy from eating the 22. The shrimp gets its nutrients and energy from eating the. Based on what we learned in class, answer the following prompt. 23. The algae gets its energy from the. You're all finished. Good job.